Welcome back, and in this video I will show you how you can connect to a database using PDO in PHP. So before that, let's create a new folder inside htdocs folder, and we will write all of our code files inside that folder. So let's name this folder as PDO and close it out. And now we will have to create the database first. So let's go to phpMyAdmin and create a new database. Oops, not localhost, phpMyAdmin, and click this new link here to create a new database. So now let's tell it the name of the database. The name will be PDO, and let's click this create button. And now you can see it has created a new database called PDO. So now we can close it, and now let's write the PHP code to connect to this database. So let's open the editor. I'm using Notepad++. So let's create a file and save it as connection.php inside this PDO folder that we just created. So click the save button, and now the file is saved. So in PDO we have to create a PDO object to connect to the database. So let's save that object inside a variable called con, and we use the new keyword in PHP to create the object. So PDO, we are simply saying create a new PDO object, and this constructor will take 3 parameters. The first one is some general settings of the database, and these are the username and password of the database. So the first parameter, we will type MySQL. This, we are actually telling it that we will use MySQL database server. As I told you in the previous video that PDO supports a wide range of database servers, so we will be using MySQL. And after that type a colon, and now we will tell it the host, and host equals to localhost and semicolon, and now we will tell it the name of the database. DB name equals to PDO. And now let's move on to the next parameter. The next parameter is the database user, and that is root, and the password of the root user in my case is root. But if you have recently installed XAMPP, by default the password for root user is actually an empty string, but in my case it is root. So now save it, and let's show a message if the connection is established. So if connection, then what we want to do, echo we are connected. Now let's save it, and now we will have to open that file in the browser. So type localhost PDO connection.php, and now you can see this text which is saying we are connected. So that means that we are successfully connected. And if I do some mistake here, so let's say if I change this database server name Save it, and now if I refresh, you can see a big fat ugly error message. So let's use try catch so that we don't see that error message. Try and catch, and we will pass a PDO. Let me do it first and I will tell you what I'm doing. And now I am simply saying try to do this, and if the PDO exception occurs, then do everything which I am mentioning here. Echo I am simply calling the getMessage method of this PDO exception object. So now if I refresh it, now you can see it is simply saying could not find driver. It is not showing that ugly error message.